sometimes you're going to see a radical equation that actually has two radical signs in it, like this one here. And often that means you're in for 10 or 15 minutes of a headache. But in this case, it's not so bad. And the reason why is, well, we'll see what the reason is. Just remember what your first step is. Isolate the radical. Always isolate the radical first. Now let's do that and see why this one isn't as bad as it might look at first. When I isolate the radical, what I get is 2 delta plus 6 over here, and I add the other radical to the other side of the equation. You can just take the whole thing and move it to the other side. So it becomes 5 negative delta minus 6 over there. And you see now, each of these radicals is kind of isolated by itself. They're on separate sides of the equation, so I can square them. And those squareds are just going to cancel out the radicals, right? But you have to be careful because there's a number in front of the radical sign. So what this really turns into is 2 squared and 5 squared, okay? When you do something like this, this is what I'm doing here. I'm squaring something that has two things multiplied together. Remember what that is? That's a squared times b squared. So don't forget to square everything that is inside those parentheses. So let's keep going with this. 2 squared is 4 times delta plus 6 equals, well, 5 squared is 25 times negative delta minus 6. And now you just distribute those multiplication terms, you get rid of the parentheses, and we'll see what happens when all the dust is settled here. This is going to be 4 delta plus 24 equals negative 25 delta, oh gosh, minus 150, I think. Okay, so now what? I'm going to add 25 delta to each side. That gives me 29 delta. And I'm going to subtract 24 from each side. That gives me negative 174. So delta equals negative 174 divided by 29. Okay? Now, you may think we're done, but as usual, we have to check to see if this is extraneous. So I'm going to plug this into the original equation now. And I don't know what negative 174 over 29 is, but let's just see what the calculator says. Negative 174 over 29. According to the calculator, should have done this earlier. According to the calculator, negative 174 over 29 is just negative 6. Okay, that's nice. So, you can simplify this fraction. Always simplify your fractions. It helps. Now, let's plug that negative 6 into our original equation. I get 2 times the square root of negative 6 plus 6 minus 5 times the square root of, well, negative, remember this negative term right here, negative delta, that's just going to be positive 6. And then it'll be 6 minus 6. Okay, so this one's going to kind of end in a fizzle. 2 square root of 0 minus 5 square root of 0. Gee, what is that? Well, 0 minus 0 equals 0. This is actually a win, okay? It means the equation works. Delta does, in fact, equal 6, negative 6. The things you want to watch out for are when you check your work and it doesn't check out, or if it causes a negative to appear inside the radical. That would produce imaginary terms. So be very careful. Always check your work now with these radical equations.